9. Dig in the dirt. Could gardening and exposure to soil make us happy? Several research studies point to yes. Garden soil is teeming with its own ecosystem of bacteria, yet it is likely that different regions and exposures of soils to different treatments vastly affect the quality of the soil organisms. The bacteria in soil may make us in a better mood, even when the bacteria is isolated away from the soil, as studied by Dr. Bryan and colleagues. The bacteria in this particular study was Mycobacterium vaccae, and it was a dead variety. To learn more about soil bacteria and mood, click here. 10. Limit or avoid fast food and highly processed foods. 10 days of fast food could ravage gut health. Food additives in fast foods and junk foods are related to increased food sensitivities and a reduction in beneficial bacteria. Take this example. A student at the University of Aberystwyth underwent an experiment where he subsisted on McDonald's food for 10 days. Over this time frame of 10 days, he lost an astounding 40% of his gut bacteria. I am going to assume that heavily processed foods from anywhere devastate the gut potentially. 11. Eat a diverse variety of fiber-rich fruits and vegetables. Our gut bacteria need a diverse source of fiber-rich foods to help to keep them healthy and thriving. A gut-healing diet will include multiple servings of vegetables and fruits per day. We now have the capability to measure the types and amounts of bacteria in the gut through DNA testing. It is clear that the variety of fresh produce in the diet contribute to gut health and diversity of gut bacteria. 12. Include sprouted foods whenever possible. Sprout your foods. This reduces anti-nutrients in plants and makes foods more nutritious. Choose organic grains and legumes whenever possible. Crops can be sprayed heavily with glyphosate herbicide at harvest time. Herbicides like glyphosate change gut bacteria. Sprouted seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds and hemp seeds that have been sprouted are great sources of fiber that can help support the growth of beneficial bacteria. But if you have severe leaky gut, you may need to start out getting your fiber from steamed vegetables and fruit. Choose whole grains. However, if you are sensitive to gluten, wheat, barley, and rye may contribute to dysbiosis or bacterial imbalance and leaky gut. This can be true of any sensitivity for that matter. How to soak and ferment grains. Both soaking and especially fermenting grains and legumes make them more nutritious and easy to digest. Methods to ferment and soak grains are easy, and details can be found at Whole Health Source. 13. Eat fermented foods and drinks daily. Fermented, probiotic foods have been used for at least 9,000 years to help preserve and increase the nutritional qualities of foods. The industrialization of food has dramatically reduced the intake of fermentation, but a recent grassroots effort to re-explore these in our food supply is with good reason. Fermented foods may have countless health benefits. This includes a high content of probiotics and pH balancing effects on the digestive tract. As with anything, fermentation takes a bit of knowledge and skill, so research this before taking it on at home. Some foods that you can readily buy with fermentation probiotic effects are fresh sauerkraut, miso, tempeh, kimchi, unsweetened yogurt, buttermilk, kefir, honey kefir, water kefir, coconut yogurt, fermented cheeses like Gouda, cheddar, Swiss, blue cheese, gorgonzola kombucha to name a few. Want to ferment your own foods? It can be easy, inexpensive and rewarding. Here are some culture starter kits that come with easy instructions and supplies. 14. Eat raw produce. As it turns out, the probiotic from the soil hitch hikes onto the vegetables and snap. You got probiotic. When you eat raw produce, you get some probiotic effect as well as prebiotic fibers. To date, no one has figured out amounts and types of probiotics that come from raw produce. Certainly, there is an infinite possibility of the type and amount of bacteria you might get. 15. Have a furry friend. If they weren't delightful enough on their own, pets make you healthier. This may be in part because they keep the body supplied with a steady source of bacteria. You don't have to ask me twice. I will always have a furry friend by my side. 16. Breastfeed and give natural childbirth if possible. Pay it forward to the next generation if possible. Infants' guts are inoculated through the birthing process, and then further enriched with gut bacteria by breast milk and contact with the skin during breastfeeding. The breastfeeding itself contributes almost a third of the total bacteria in the gut of breastfed babies. 17. Reduce your stress. Short-term exposure to stress can impact the bacteria content of our gut by altering the relative proportions of the main types of bacteria. Bacteria are required for normal brain development as well. Early research shows that gut probiotic also influences stress responsiveness, anxiety-like behavior, activation of the neuroendocrine hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) stress axis. Stress increases histamine production, which can have an inflammatory effect on the gut. You can help distress with meditation, hypnosis, mindful activities, nature essential oils.